it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior Live. I'll be your host today. Please put in the chat where you're from and who you are. When we start reviewing the news articles, if you want to look at our Facebook page, just click here and you can follow the articles along as we go. See you in a moment. You think I get it right? Good morning. It's Ron Brown. I'll be your host today. This is Tech for Senior Live. It is September the 29th. This is Tech for Senior Live. If you're watching today, thank you for watching. If you're watching this on a YouTube replay, thank you again for watching. If you're watching it on a YouTube short, just click the description and you'll take you right to the show. Today for our show, we have, of course, we're going to be talking on hurricane preparedness. And we have, of course, Hewie Poplik to give us some information on that. He's just been through it. And we have, of course, we'll be talking about the news of the day as well at the end of the show. So enjoy the show today. We hopefully you're out there and listening. If you are listening, that would be great. If you could put where you're from and maybe what the weather is like there, and particularly if you're in the Florida in the Florida area. And certainly our hearts and prayers go out to all those people who have had such tremendous devastation in Florida this past 48 hours. We'll be talking, of course, a little bit about that today on the show. We also have the show is part of Tech for Senior, and on Monday, of course, we have another show, which is our big show. So if you are listening to this and you haven't heard our Monday show, you can certainly find all the details out about that, and we can add, of course, www.techforsenior.com. Today, we're going to, I'm going to go through and we'll do some introductions, and then we're going to talk about some news articles. If you like the news articles, you can follow us along on Facebook, and that is our Facebook page. And you can, we have all the articles there posted that we're going to be talking about today. Today, what we are going to talk a little bit about as well is, do you have weather emergency alerts turned on your phone? We may be talking a little bit about that today. So that is what we're going to be talking about. And also, we have no idea if anybody's listening out there to us, or we could just be talking amongst ourselves. So what we need to do is, if you can put a note in the chat and let us know who you are, where you're from, that would be certainly great and helpful. Otherwise, we just may be talking to ourselves. Also, if you're over on our our website, or if you're over in our Zoom meeting over in our Zoom meeting, which is where we broadcast on Monday, we're not there. We'll see you Monday, right? So make sure that you come over to, this is we're in StreamYard, and we're broadcasting out to Facebook and to YouTube. And you can find all the details on how to get there, again, at www.techforsenior.com. I have buttons on the website, and you just click that, and you'll come right to our meeting today. Well, without further ado, I know that everyone is worried about Huey. I want to introduce our panel today. And of course, the first person I'm going to introduce is a man who's just been through the hurricane. He's from Bradenton, Florida. Huey's going to tell us all about his experience in a few minutes. You're okay, Huey?
I'm fine. No power. I'm on my Chromebook on a battery and using my phone as a hotspot. But other than that, I'm doing okay.
All right, we'll get to you in just a second. He, of course, is my co-host on the Monday show. We both co-host Tech for Senior. We've just recorded last Monday was our 130th episode, so we're doing well with that. And of course, um, a man who has been with us right from the start and a cornerstone of the show, a good friend of ours, a man who is a security expert, but an expert in many things because he has a prolific YouTube producer on all sorts of technology. And that, of course, would be Bob Gustisha.
Good morning.
You're dry and well, and everything's
I'm
going
dry. I'm at 5,000 feet. If we wind up with a flood over here,
right.
I have somebody else I have to talk to about that one.
Yeah. That's. I guess we'd need the ark if it got over 5,000.
You got it. You got it.
Okay.
Although this all used to be underwater.
It did, yes, many years ago. Yeah, I don't think we have to worry about that, Bob.
I don't think so either.
And then, of course, the music director of our Monday show, a man who is not just a music guy, but he's a techie guy too, who is the president of a international computer organization called the Association of Personal Computer User Groups, APCUG. Hey, that's pretty good. I remember that, eh? Hey, Ray?
I'm very impressed, Ron.
That's a mouthful. That's a mouthful, I'll tell you. So he's a sharp guy, nice fella, good friend of ours, our music director from our Monday show, Ray Baxter, from Pine, Arizona.
Yeah, and like Bob, I don't have to worry about floods here either. Forest fires are more of our concern. But I guess you've heard me say many times, no matter where you live, you're susceptible usually to some kind of natural disaster. So,
that's true.
But we're so glad Huey is looking good and strong this morning and that he made it through fine.
I was saying to my wife this morning, we used to, I met Ray. I know Ray from my experience in 10 years in Arizona. We owned a house in Mesa. There's a lot of people not going to Florida this winter, I think. And that's probably going to put a lot of pressure on Mesa and Phoenix area for all the people wanting to do winter vacations, eh?
Oh yeah, we've had an influx of people coming in to Arizona for the last 10 years. The population is growing, and we welcome population, but I worry about our own water situation. I mean, Florida has too much water; we have too little.
Right, for sure. Distribution.
Yes,
distribution.
And because of the disaster that you've now had in Florida, Florida actually needs support more than it normally would. Tourism is their biggest business.
Yeah.
And if people say, oh my goodness, no, they'll rebuild and they'll have all of the attractions and they'll still have the nice weather. That's what I miss most. Since the pandemic, I haven't been in Florida, and I used to do that every single year in January.
Mm-hmm.
How smart of you.
Well, then that's why I picked Florida in January, Arizona in February, and the southern part of California in March. My wife is the one who suffered through the through the winter. I'm the one who was in sunshine.
I just wanted to bring a map up and show everyone. This is a picture of Florida, and if you see Sarasota, I guess my pointer doesn't work here, but if you look on the bottom part of your map, you'll see Sarasota. And if you look just up to the top, you'll see Bradenton. Of course, that is where Huey is. And if you see the little hurricane red dots, that's where the track of the hurricane. So that's where Huey is now. Huey, do you want to give us a snapshot of what happened last night, or how you're doing?
Yeah, and on that map, just north of us is Tampa Bay, and you may have heard Tampa Bay was supposed to get the brunt of the storm. And that would have been just, excuse me, about 10 miles from here. So we were watching it pretty closely. I got everything ready. I had to take all my furniture off the carport and off the back patio, and put everything away and fill up my shed and hope the shed would last, and put other things on my lanai, which is the front porch. And so I was all set for it. And then it went into Port Charlotte, which was in Punta Gorda, which is south of us, south of Sarasota, south of North Port Charlotte, and so on, but still not far from here. And But we got a lot of rain, we got a lot of winds. Bradenton was a little bit luckier, just west of Bradenton. They got 14 inches of rain. We only had about 5. And when I say west of us, I'm talking about 4 or 5 miles west of us. So just amazing how the weather, how it goes. But it just rained and poured for hours on end. And of course, you're wondering, hopefully the roof won't leak or get blown off or whatever. I was all set. I knew we'd lose power, but I didn't know how, when. And I had my phones charged. I have 2 phones. One is just, it's not connected to anything. I use it with Wi-Fi when I have Wi-Fi, and then I just use it as an extra. But my main phone, I had all charged up. I had 2 chargers, an Anchor and another off-brand, so I could recharge my phones as I needed to, and my iPad. My iPad also has LTE, so it connects to a cell. So I was, pretty well set. I had all kinds of little flashlights. I have a light that's shining on me now, so you can see me, and that's a rechargeable. So all I have to do is plug it in with a USB-C cable and charge it. So I used it as a basic light, and we lost power about 3:30 yesterday afternoon, and it was pouring and so on. And I found out later that the front end of our community, which is where the clubhouse is, didn't lose the power. And that happened in Irma. When was it? 5 years ago. Same thing. They're on a different circuit apparently, but I decided not to go up there. All the people yakking and talking about the weather and everything, and I want to just get on YouTube and do what I could and listen to the news and sleep when I wanted to and not have a lot of people snoring around me. So I stayed home. Luckily, the temperatures were in the mid 70s, and they are now. So it's without power. I don't have air conditioning, but right now I don't need it. However, when I did take a shower this morning, I forgot that, of course, the hot water is the hot water heater is electric, so the water wasn't that warm. So I had to run around trying to keep warm while I took a shower. But I had trials and tribulations with all the gadgets that I had, including I also have 2 10-inch battery-operated fans that I bought after Irma, and this was the first chance I had to get them out. And so I had them ready, and I don't need them because it's nice and cool, but I got them. But when I went to get on the internet yesterday afternoon and evening, my upload speed is less than 1 megabit per second. And that's not very fast. You have to wait forever for just a page to load. It's almost like my 300 baud modem back in my first computer. But I did get it. I was able to do things, and then during the night it went back up, and I was getting about 40 megabits per second. And now this morning when I logged on for here, I'm getting less than 1 again. But my upload speed is about 7. So you're hearing me fine. It's me hearing you it's really choppy, and that's all of you. But anyway, I'm sitting here on my Chromebook, running it off the battery. I've got a battery lit a light in front of me so you can see me. I'm using my phone as a hotspot, So my phone is connected to a cell and then turning it into a Wi-Fi signal, and so I'm able to get on with my Chromebook, and here I am.
I have we have a lot of people listening and wanted to put comments, and I'll do the
Sure.
comments if you want. I got them up here.
Let me try and see if I can do it. There we go.
Do you want to do the first one there?
Well, I just did it and it went away. So
that was me. I put it up. Do you want to try? Go ahead.
You're going to have to do it. It's not working for me now.
All right. Okay. So the first one is from the Philippines. Cebu Mactan in the Philippines. Nice to have experience on your side. I watch as many times as possible. Thanks, Ron Cav. There you go. Interesting. I told you we are an international broadcasting internationally. We'll have to put that in our notes. Philippines. Mike Ungerman. Mike, of course, is a regular contributor on our Monday show. Mike, Mike has also did a whole series for us on solar energy for your home, and he has a bunch of solar panels on the top of his roof. I'm wondering, Mike, are they still there? Good to see Hewie with us online. We never lost power. Lots of wind and rain in Orlando, so they never lost power. Interesting. Mike, are your solar panels still on your house? Ron says, Ron's honor. Hi again. Hi, Ron. Ron and Abby. Ivana Stewart from Argyle, Texas, 72 degrees, 11 in the morning. And of course, Jim and Chris Gould from Fort Lauderdale, South Florida, beautiful and breezy today. So I guess they didn't get anything. Eh? Wow, that's good news for them. Liz Milford, hi from Ohio, just cloudy and cool, 56 degrees. Hi, this is Betty from Clearwater, Florida. Made it through okay, but nearby is not so good. Sorry, refresh my memory, Hewie. Where's Clearwater? Is it north or south of you?
Clearwater is north of me, maybe about an hour north. It's west of Tampa.
Oh, okay.
Right on the Gulf.
Right on the Gulf. Okay.
Where the waters are clear.
Yeah. Okay. Bob Baxter, Bellevue, Washington, 60 going on 68 with some sun this afternoon. George is, of course, is from Victoria. Mike Hungerman, several phone apps for weather. Windy is one of the good ones if you are concerned about hurricanes or tornadoes. All alerts on phones are on, and we also have a weather radio. Thanks, Mike. That's great news. Windy. Yeah, do you guys use the Windy app? Do you have Windy?
I also have a weather radio, and I really recommend you having one. And get one that's battery operated as well as plug-in. So if you lose power, you can still get the weather with it.
Okay. Clark Walker, watching from Trenton, New Jersey. Currently 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Rain from Ian expected on Saturday as it works. I guess as it works north. JJ is from Illinois. 54 degrees this morning. Had to turn the heat on. Whoa. George says, Hewie, how will you charge your smartphone and Chromebook without power?
I have two little chargers. They're made just to do that. One of them is an Anker, Anker, which is a little bit more powerful than the other one. I can get about 3 charges out of it. At least that's what they tell me I can. And then the other one I have is one I bought. It looks like an old iPhone, but it's just a charger. And I can get one good charge with it, and maybe another half.
Mm-hmm. And of course, Gene says sunny, 60 degrees northwestern. I guess PA is Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, yep.
Pennsylvania. And Murray, good morning from Victoria, where it's getting warmer. When I lived in Ottawa, I went to Florida every Christmas when our boys were young. Then U.S. Thanksgiving after they had left home. Yes, indeed. Kathleen Steed is Manhattan. Welcome and good morning, Kathleen. I guess New York often gets the tail end of these hurricanes. They often get bad weather from them. Sally from Kirkland, Washington, good day. Kathleen Steed, how do you use your phone as a hotspot? Good question.
There's a setting in your in most phones under the connections, and it'll say hotspot or tethering, and you click that and turn it on. But you have to have it as part of your phone plan because it is an extra, and so it should be part of your phone plan. If it isn't, then it won't work even if you turn it on.
Okay, thank you. Mike says, good vibes. Solar panels are made a lot of rumbling noise in the 50-mile-per-hour winds and are still there. Not much production today.
I guess not.
No surprise there.
Yeah, we'll have to talk to Mike. I wonder if that's certainly a thought, eh? You know, like I wonder how. I guess they're made to solar panels are made to withstand hurricanes.
Well, I talked to him about that a little bit the other day before the hurricane hit, and he told me that when they put the solar panels on, even though they're slightly above the roof itself, they drill deep down into the beams that are on the roof. So the only way he's going to lose those solar panels is if he loses his roof.
Oh, okay. Geeks on Tour Jim says, our last show talked about keeping all your devices charged. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Okay, that's good news. So what I wanted to do is I've got a little something I wanted to let me just have a look here. I wanted to play for you today. One of the things I wanted to talk about, and I did a video on this recently, was on how to make sure that your wireless emergency alerts on your phone are turned on and work. One of the problems and we'll talk a little bit about this in a minute, because I think people need to understand this. And I've made a little 1-minute video on this that I sent out. And so just let me play the video first, and then we'll go over this. Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, wireless emergency alerts. To prepare for a hurricane, you need the National Weather Service alerts. This often is turned off on your cell phone. Let me show you how to turn it on. Click your messaging app, and once we get to messages, go up to the 3-dot menu, and we're going to click settings in the messaging app. We're then going to come down, and we're going to come to the advanced section. Click advanced, and here's where we're going to look at wireless emergency alerts. Click that. And this is going to bring up my wireless emergency alerts. Let's look at the settings menu. You can now toggle off extreme threats, severe threats, amber alerts, test alerts, and you can be notified by vibration or alert reminder. These are the emergency settings you need to set on your Android phone. So the thing that is important about these alerts is, first of all, that they go through not through Wi-Fi or the internet. They are broadcast through the cell phone, through your cell phone signal as an emergency alert that comes into your phone. So they're not, unlike, in the middle of a hurricane or whatever, and you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't have power. These are going to come into your phone through your cellular plan. Now, they're all a little bit different because it depends on where you live in the world and how these are set up with your local emergency services, right? So it might, those alerts might be a little bit different. The panel might look a little bit different, but you need in a lot of phones, these are turned off. That menu is turned off, and I think it's important that you go in and make sure that is turned on. And once it's turned on, there's nothing you do. They will just automatically come in. The other thing is, when I showed you that video, that's the messaging app that you go in. It's to look at settings. It's not the settings menu for Android. So don't go into the Android part of your settings. This is in the messaging app that you have on your phone. Now, I demonstrated that on an Android phone, but it would be very similar on an iPhone as well. Do you guys have that all turned on?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't have any real emergencies that I have to worry about. We don't have hurricanes. We don't have earthquakes. and the only one that ever goes off are the ones for if a child's been kidnapped and stuff.
The
And
Amber
when that
Alerts,
goes off, my goodness gracious, the whole house rumbles, and it's continuous and it doesn't shut. So yeah, it used to be on, it is now off. Sorry, but it doesn't happen where I live. It's always somewhere way away from where I am, but it knocks the heck out of everything as far as noise goes. So
I'm not sure, like in mine, for our emergency alerts, the Amber Alert you could turn off and keep the other ones on. As I think you saw in the menu there were all the
right,
different ones you could turn on
right.
and off. So you could turn that off.
Yeah, but none of the others apply to me, so I just
Well,
simply turned the whole thing off.
it also could be different in your area as well,
Right.
because those menus are depending on your emergency services. So I thought I would just go over that with everyone and just make sure that you know that you understand where those are and what services they do.
We were still living in Long Island, it would definitely be on because we had hurricanes in Long Island. I lived through one of the big ones, you know. We had more limbs down because I had many, many trees on my property. We actually had a fence that went all the way around the property, all from limbs that had come down. There, I would have had this turned on. Where I live now, I don't need it. Knock on wood.
Jim says we have a video on turning your phone into a hotspot. So that's a good one, Kathleen. If you're looking for that, just go over to Geeks on Tour, their website, and they have a whole video on that. Maybe even Jim could put the link in the chat. That would even be better for us. Ivana says, how are the folks in Nova Scotia doing? They really helped the U.S. during the 9/11 attack. Well, Nova Scotia and Newfoundland got hit just probably as bad as Florida. They're rebuilding. It of course occurred last week, and it's bad. The Prime Minister was out there this week, and lots of repairs need to happen. Whole communities were devastated. A lot of the problem, of course, was these homes were built a long time ago, and they're often built on rocks over, close to the ocean, and the waves come in and the house goes out, sort of thing, right? So it was really not. It's really a bad situation out there right now. Thank you for asking. Clark Walker, Lester Holt did a broadcast from Bradenton, Florida last night.
And he didn't call me.
He didn't get your opinion. Well, we're doing a broadcast today, right? There you go. I plan to do so after this show. Kathleen says, yes, excellent. Remember, Kathleen, if your plan doesn't allow a hotspot, then it's not going to show up as an option on your phone. All right. Are you guys ready to do some work? You're not too sore. You can do some work today. Are you okay?
As long as it's choppy when I hear you, but I try to understand most of it, and I'm looking at the closed caption under it, so it's working
okay.
well.
All right.
Yeah,
so just so that if you want to go over to our Facebook page now, this is our Facebook page, and this is where we're going to be looking at the articles that we're going to be talking about today. All right, let me share my screen, and we'll come up. And we'll come over here, and I think this should bring it up. There we go. Let me see if I can make that a little bit bigger. Be able to do that. And let's come up with the first. Ray, you rascal, you got the first article.
Well, I thought I'd be different.
You do that. You are never first, but you must have snuck that one in at the last minute.
Well, I didn't know if Hewie would be here or not, so I decided let me throw one or two extra ones in over normal quota. But this is
blame me. Go ahead.
An interesting article about the Fitbit, the Apple, and Samsung newest watches. And if you're in the market for a smartwatch, and the new ones just came out, this is a worthy article to take a look at. The bottom line is, it says there's not a lot of new innovations in these watches. They just refined very well what was existing. And the point is that Fitbit Sense 2 now is a watch that'll work with most brands, whereas Samsung and Apple, of course, only work with the smartphones, their own smartphones. But anyway, if you're in the market for a smartphone, this is a good article to read. Smartwatch.
Yeah, I because I write a lot of articles about Fitbit line and the Fitbit Sense. And I agree, Ray, with you. I think that be wary of the Fitbit Sense 2. It really provides little difference in the Fitbit Sense, although it gives you 24/7 stress monitoring. So if you're a stressful person, that might be helpful. The other thing is that we don't know yet finally what the Pixel's going to show that's coming up probably in about a week's time. And we'll have to see what features and how it compares to the Fitbit Sense 2. One of the things that no one's talked about is that the Fitbit Sense 2 does not have Wi-Fi capability. All the communication, they took it away, and it's all going to be Bluetooth to your phone, which is a big step backwards. And I expect the Pixel will have Wi-Fi capability. So as Google brings out, these are both made by Google, right? We're going to have to see what they're really going to want this Pixel watch to shine. And I don't know what they're going to pull out of the rabbit hat to make this Pixel watch really sellable, right? So we'll have to, I'm really waiting to see this. But for sure, if you're thinking of buying Fitbit Sense 2, I would hold off until we see exactly what the Pixel.
Yeah, I'm going to be keeping my Fitbit Sense 1 for quite a while.
Do you have the Fitbit Sense?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, so we both have the same watch. You have that as well. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, and I really love it. It's great. It's a great watch, except I hate the fact that it doesn't have Google Pay. And you would think that Google would have got off their butts now and got Google Pay working on the Fitbit line. And they say it's coming to Fitbit Sense 2, but that could be, years away. We still don't know because it's not present now. And
right.
So I don't know what's going to happen, but that's a big downfall for it. So this is I had to put this in there. This I live on Vancouver Island, right? Little island off the west coast. Well, there's an Amazon distribution center that will be completed next month that's on the island. So that is going to make my deliveries even faster. So my little heart just palpitated when I read that article this morning saying that
they probably built it because you were doing so much ordering.
I'm sure.
So I'll be able. This is really a good deal.
Maybe it's cheaper for them to build that than to have to continue to deliver from long distance.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess
you'll be able to drive over and pick up your own stuff, Ron.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm so excited about that. Anyway, I had to put that in. I thought that'd be great. So now here's the interesting. This is very interesting. Bob, did you do an art? I thought you'd be on this one. Google rolls out alerts for when your personal info appears in search. And this is a new feature they turned on today. This was published about 34 minutes ago. And I think this is only in the United States, so I can't demo it. But you now can turn on an alert in your Google settings, and it will tell you if your name or a phone number gets used in the search results. And you can also request that to be removed. And this is just a new feature that was turned on today. Did you guys hear about this? Or
Yep.
Bob, did you know about it?
Yes.
Do you have it turned on? Can you demonstrate it, or you haven't?
No, I haven't done anything with this yet.
Yeah, this is interesting.
I'm in the middle of creating something else for Windows 11 that's brand new. So,
okay, we'll hear more about this then.
Eventually, yes.
Okay, great. All right. So interesting. That's very interesting. So it's going to
I have limitations. I can only produce so many at one time.
Oh, come on, Bob.
I doubt that very much.
Yeah, I doubt that, Bob. Yeah, I doubt that. Anyway, so I thought I'd just bring that up because I knew you'd do something on that. But that's going to be really interesting. Bob, then this is yours.
Yeah, and this is why I can't do nothing on what you just talked about, because I'm working on something that I spotted is available in Windows 11 that will prevent what I talk about here from happening the next time. On
Oh, okay.
9/23, I spotted something new in my apps that start when Windows starts, and that was Spotify Music. I knew I had not installed it, and today I finally noticed an article in G Hacks that gave me an explanation. Apparently, it's something that's even stumped Microsoft and Spotify because they don't know how it happened. But if you're one of the insiders and you're testing new stuff, you now not only get new stuff, but you also apparently get apps installed without your knowledge. I
Oh,
since removed Spotify because it's not something I use, but
right.
this was automatically added. Now, there
Oh,
happens to be a new setting in Windows that allows a notification when anything is added to your auto starts when the system starts. And that's the video I'm working on right now.
okay. Well, we'll expect more on that. Okay, this is the follow-up. I put this article up, and this is another one, Ray, that I read this morning. This was Fitbit Sense 2 review, and of course the article just basically said the same thing. Wait for the Pixel Watch. But I read 2 or 3 articles a day on this, and they're all rehashing the same stuff. Like they don't have any new. I get tired of it because it's the same fluff that they keep putting up for another article, right? And we just don't know yet. Nobody's coming out really on the Pixel Watch. They're talking about the new bands and the new face and all that sort of stuff, but it doesn't actually say what the watch is going to do.
That's what you want to know.
I want to know what it's going to do and if it's going to be worth switching over and but so far nothing really. Everyone's pretty tight-lipped about that. Now this is very interesting. We'll talk a little bit about this later, but Amazon just announced their big all the new devices that they're releasing this fall in advance of course, Prime Day and all the things that are happening. So there's a whole bunch of new technology that they just released, and this is very interesting. So this is actually the Echo Dot, which of course, I've got a bunch of them. I'm sure everybody does, but this is the 5th generation. And in the Echo Dot, it's going to double. Of course, Google has Eero, which is their mesh router. It will double as an access point for the Eero mesh router. Or if you have just a regular router in your house that's not a mesh router, it will also act as a Wi-Fi range extender. So it's got it's got all those functionality built into it as part of the Echo Dot. And I thought, well, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I think depending, I don't know what the price is going to be of that, but that's a pretty neat feature, particularly if you had their mesh Eero, which it's a great router system. It's a mesh router system, and this would be your access points. These are great. Yeah, that's a good deal. So this is they just announced this, and this is part of their new series.
Yeah, I read that article, a similar article. I didn't know it was an extender. The article I read sounded like it would only work if it was part of an existing mesh system.
I don't think so. It says doubles as an Eero mesh Wi-Fi range. Echo Dot that doubles as an Eero mesh Wi-Fi. Oh, maybe it's just the Eero. Maybe it just works as an Eero.
That's what I think it is.
Maybe you're right on that. Sorry,
that
maybe
was my understanding too, which is why I
Okay.
said, "Well, do I really need this? I don't have it."
Yeah,
The
if you don't have an
equipment-
Eero,
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, interesting one. The other one that's cool. Did you guys see this one? This is another gadget. Not a gadget, but this is the new Kindle, right? This is the new Kindle reader, but of course, you can annotate now on it. You can write on it. So as you're reading a book, you can make notes and so on and so forth. So it's got a stylus and a pen, and you can actually use it and write on the Kindle the Kindle reader, so you take notes right on the Kindle reader. Is that cool?
Correct.
Yeah.
Didn't I read that they're going to have another Prime Day in October?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
I think it's the 10th and the 11th. And so
Yes.
these products, you might be able to get a good price on it if you wait a couple of weeks.
Yeah. But I thought that's pretty cool. That's just one of their new. That's new when they came out.
Ron, you have a couple of new comments.
Couple of new comments.
Mm.
Let's have a look. Let's just go back up. We got a whole bunch of them here. Just a minute. Let's come back up. I gotta find. Let's see here. We did that one. Clark Walker did that. Yeah, I did that one. Clark Walker said, I was watching to see if he interviewed Hewie.
Which he didn't do.
No, and he didn't call me up to take me out to dinner either.
Really? Well, you never know. Olive Cousin, I liked number 7 with 27 watching. He said Amazon just closed the distribution. What? Closed the distribution center?
They moved to Vancouver.
Yeah.
They closed a few of them. Yeah.
So, Jim, you're not ordering enough on Amazon. It was only open a year. Wow. Big building. Geeks Center. I got that Spotify app on my game PC.
Yeah, I know I wasn't the only one, but it solved the mystery. I didn't know why it had happened.
Like number 9 from the Chromebook. And Michael Swift. Google event on October 6th will present the Pixel Watch info and availability. Yes, it is bookmarked. It is that next Wednesday? I can't. What is the 6th? Anyway, we'll be watching that. Why did Amazon say they were closing? Well, I guess they weren't. Were they not as big? I mean, I know Amazon is having globally now is certainly I guess they're still doing okay, but their sales are down with everybody tightening, interest rates going up. Obviously, the economy is changing, so maybe they're tightening their belt. I don't know. All as I know is ours is opening next month. That is great. All right, that's good.
That leads right into your next article.
Yeah. Is Amazon stock a buy after the massive new product rollout? Good question. The article was a good one. Another one. This is another device they rolled out, which is interesting. This isn't a watch. It's nothing. It's nothing you wear, but it's a device that tracks your sleeping patterns and reports back to you, and it sits by the bedside table, and it does it through your breathing rate. So how accurate that is and so on and so forth, I have no idea. This is just a new product that they brought out as well. Now, this is interesting. I have to tell you guys, this is very interesting. I listened to Elon Musk talk about robotics. I don't know if Bob listened to that as well.
Yep.
Now, the interesting thing is that if we look in the future, if you're a bit of a futurist and you say, yeah, there's global warming, and yes, we'll have EV cars, and yes, we'll have solar panels on the roofs. Those are all things that will be occurring in the next, well, it'll occur slowly over time over the next 20 years. But one of the things that's interesting that Elon said, and I was really taken back with this, is robotics. And he said that this is going to happen quickly. And he predicts within 5 years from now, we will see robotics take over, and and he said in a very short period of time, probably 4 or 5 years, robotics will take over and it'll be like televisions in your house. Everybody will want one. And, he will say, did you get color TV? And I say, yeah, I just got a color TV. And it'll be the same thing with robots is there'll be new robots and new stuff coming out all the time. And this will quickly, but the problem with robots right now is that they just don't do anything. Well, that's not entirely true, because what Bob and Huey and I have been playing with is robotic vacuums. And vacuums are something that do an incredible job and are super popular now, right? And we're all using them, and that is a great job for a robot, and they've made it work well. But the interesting thing this was Astro, which we've talked about before, and I've shown you videos on. It doesn't really what I would consider. Would you want to spend $1,000 just to have a robot run around and maybe get you a beer? But people love these things. You can't. They love them. You can't get this device because it's sold out all the time. And this is the new model that they're just releasing. And so it's and that just goes to show you the interest that people have in robots. And so this is an area that I'm excited about, is robotics. I think that probably in 5 years time, when we do the show, we'll all have a robot, and we'll all have different models made from different companies, and it'll be great. We'll
say what the extended abilities are going to be.
No, I didn't know. No, is it just says that Amazon expand the Astro's abilities for both home and business, and but it's an ongoing issue, right? It's an ongoing.
Yeah, the eyes move, and it has expressions, and it does a lot of things. I was thinking about getting one, but I think they're a little bit pricey yet. But
Yeah.
I don't want to get a dog because you got to clean up after them, and you got to take them out and walk them. You got to feed them when you're not home, and that sort of thing. Where this, you don't have to worry about that.
Right, but wouldn't it be cool if it also vacuumed? And you get, you could do, if you did, and maybe what it could do would be, I don't know, something else. It's got to do something in, for within your house that you want done, right? And so
dogs and cats don't do things you want them to do, but you still have them.
Maybe it'll talk to you, sing you a song, maybe wake you up. I don't know, but it's sort of cool. I think this is really. I think Elon Musk was right, and he said that unlike solar panels and EVs and cars, that's going to take a lot of time. But he predicts because robotics is so good now that it will occur very quickly. In other words, it quickly will have the ability to do lots of interesting things. So more on that. The other one, of course, in the lineup of all the Amazon items was I talked a little bit about in the past about the Fire TV. And this was an article from Tom's Guide saying, oh my gosh, Amazon's new Fire TV Omni QLED for under, this was, I think, a 65-inch for under $800. This is going to put, these are good TVs. So you may, if you are looking for a new TV, you may look at this. This may be an option for you. Let's have a look and see on comments. I think we've got a few new comments. I think we saw that. Doreen Feeney says, good morning, watching from Ontario, Canada. My prayers go out to everyone in the path of this horrific situation. God bless. Thanks, Doreen. I think we all agree on that. Olive Cousin, robotics.
Wally.
Yeah.
About 20 years ago.
Yeah. Doreen Feeney, sunny here with a high of 15 and cool. Amazon did not comment in the newspaper story on why they closed. I can't believe that. Jim, you just didn't order enough stuff. All of my wife has a whole list of honey-dos I would be gladly let a robot do. Yeah. If we figure out what it's going to do, like no one likes vacuuming. I mean, that's got to be a robotic job for sure. Mike says, for seniors, you'd want the robot to monitor your state of health and call for emergency support if you have a stroke, heart attack, or fall or can't get up. Yeah, that's a good option for a robot. It could be sit by you, it could follow you around in the house, and it could monitor those things. Could monitor all sorts of things. Yeah, that's a good idea, Mike. Yeah,
and for seniors companionship too.
Yeah.
Correct.
maybe you're onto something. Yeah, that's a good idea for sure. Absolutely. Let's have a look. Ray Chipotle.
Chipotle. Now, this kind of goes hand in hand with what you mentioned before. They're building a new Mexican restaurant in my area, so that'll be nice to see. And one of the things they talk about in this article is called Chippy, and that's an autonomous kitchen assistant. And Chippy is going to quote integrates culinary traditions with artificial intelligence to make tortilla chips. Does that mean there's going to be an AI making my meal at Chipotle?
Well, tortilla chips for sure, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was in the bar end of the bar and restaurant business, I kind of follow those articles, and I've been watching a lot of articles about the restaurant business having trouble hiring people, so they're going to a lot of robotics. A pizza making machine where it goes through and per order puts on just the right amount of the different toppings that you get on a pizza, and then puts it in the oven, and then from the oven it comes out, and then so you don't have to have people handling all of that. So there's hamburger flippers that flip the hamburgers, and there's all kinds of robotic equipment. And McDonald's is going into a lot of it as well. They've I think they either hired a company or uh, they're building themselves a lot of equipment that's going to automate a lot of things going on in their kitchens.
Ray, iPhone 14, India man. What's going on here?
All right. Well, when I was a kid, I often wanted to be the first kid on the block to get something new that nobody else had. But this gentleman, he's 28 years old. He's from India. He's outdone me by far. He has spent $500 to fly from India to Dubai so he could get the brand new iPhone 14 before it went on sale in India. But it only went on sale in India about 5 hours later. But apparently this is the fourth time he's done this, where he flies from India to Dubai just to buy an iPhone, the latest one. And this is, he says, his tribute to his idol, Steve Jobs.
Well done.
He's got too much money and too much time on his hands.
We need to get him as a guest on Tech for Senior. He'd be a great guy to have as a guest, I'll tell you. Yeah. Ray, flying towards hurricane. I don't want to fly towards a hurricane. I want to go the other way.
That's my point. As everybody is kind of racing away from the hurricane, these folks fly into the eye. They're part of the military service. And what's neat about this particular clip is there's a video clip that lasts about a minute, and where you're actually in the cockpit of the airplane as it's flying through the hurricane. So a worthwhile watch for a minute of your time.
Is that the eye of the hurricane? You see the blue on the top there? Is that? I wonder if they're right in the center.
I don't know. I'd be guessing if I answered that.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting. Ray, do you like to be watched while you sleep?
We just covered that, right?
With the new, we just covered in your article about this new Amazon feature.
Okay.
Right.
Bob, new 11 password protection. What's this all about?
Just what it says. Something new in Windows 11, provided you're running version 22H2. And there's one other requirement. You must use your password to sign in order for this to work. And if you want to know more about it, watch the video.
Absolutely.
I will. You know, I was telling Bob the other day when I did my update, like the H2 update on my laptop. My gosh, the fonts and the color and everything looks so much better and crisper. It was an incredible update. They must have got all the drivers for the machine organized, everything, because it really is spectacular. I wonder if everyone else had the same experience. Bob said no, you didn't. You
got to remember, it too depends on the quality of your monitor. If your monitor is able to produce the brilliance, you're going to see it. If it can't, okay. And that's probably because the monitor I use is big, not necessarily very expensive.
Mhm. It looks nice. It's really, really the display for the new for the upgrade. Really, I was quite.
Let me mention that I'm one of the holdouts that did not jump on Windows 11 right away. I decided to wait till my computer told me it was ready to install. Guess what? I got the message, and what is going to install is this latest update as part of my first installation of Windows 11.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
So I'll let you know next week.
This is a new video that I just have out. We've discussed this on our Monday show. I played that last Monday, which talks about the monitoring of your heart. Hewie, gadgets but not tech. What is all this about?
Bring it down a little bit. I got to try to remember what it was. Oh, just there's
Modern
some really neat.
women.
There's some really neat furniture ideas, and they just demonstrate them.
Oh,
Chairs turn into tables, and tables that do all kinds of things. Just kind of neat.
okay. Bob.
Some life-saving suggestions. Stay the heck out of the fridge when it's not time to eat. I primarily posted this as a reminder to myself.
Very good, Bob.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Bob, Samsung reveals the first slidable display. What's
Yes, how to turn a 13-inch laptop into a 17-inch laptop. Or actually, in this case, it's the display. It's a tablet. Turn it from 13 to 17.
Just pull it out, expand it.
Yeah, just like you have with the phone that you can expand. That one that they or almost put out but didn't. Well, this is now for a tablet.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Now this was a good article. Thanks for putting that up, Bob. That's in keeping with what we were talking about today. A website worth bookmarking as far as
well, a website. Actually, it's something I put together and I put it on my Google Drive.
Mm-hmm.
And this leads you to the Google Drive where you have the links to this.
Right.
But you also have them in here. So.
And free movies. I like free, Bob. What's with this?
Again, you'll find this on my Google Drive, available to anybody who goes there. And it gives you how to watch free movies. And there are quite a few free movies available. Many different services that offer free movies where you don't have to spend money. Yeah, you may have to pause through some commercials, but the movies are totally free.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Now here's an interesting looking guy. What are you doing with your leftover coffee?
Mm-hmm. Coffee isn't just for drinking anymore. Want to know more? Watch the video.
I think we'll play that on our Monday. I think we'll play it this coming Monday. That's a good one. That should be a good one. I haven't watched it yet, but that'll be a good one.
Yeah, it's had quite a few views already.
Yeah.
And it's a little different. You know, once in a while I get bored of making the same videos on the same topic. And this to me was interesting because I do like coffee. I use a lot of it. Yeah, I have lots of coffee grinds and I have lots of leftover coffee. Why not put it to use?
Yeah, and I guess I do I do some gardening as well. And you wonder about, using it in gardening.
Yep.
This is the article where I made the video from. This is how to opt in for emergency weather alerts on Android. It's a good article, and I would encourage you to watch the video and also watch that. I guess that's comes back to our Hewie. Did you see the you're our poster person? Did you see that on that for our Monday show?
Thank you for doing.
Do you know what time it is?
It is. It's time to. It's time that we stop sharing, and just clear up any Steve says Kirkland 57 degrees. Mike is here, of course. Good to see Hewie. Yes, we're all happy that Hewie's okay. And Kathleen said, are drones able to fly into the eye of the hurricane? I have no idea.
I don't believe they can go
This
that
is
high.
not a drone. This
No,
right.
I don't think they can do that. And Jim says a consumer drone could probably fly during the eye portion of a hurricane passing. Ian's wind would destroy my drones. Yes,
once you're in the eye, it's calm. It's getting in and getting out that's not safe.
It is. Well, I just want to remind everybody about our Monday show coming up, and you can find all the details about it at www.techforsenior.com. We're also happy Huey's fine and safe, and he's here for the show today. Thank you for staying safe, Huey. We're really happy to see you.
Yeah, I'm kind of happy too.
Yes,
we're all happy.
Thanks, Bob, for coming. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, everyone. Thank you all for coming and listening today. That was great. I think we had a good show today. Lots of good stuff. And we'll see everybody for the Monday show. So have a great day, everybody, and stay safe. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.